Yo, what's good people? Listen, just this past Friday, like literally on 2 days ago, we asked whether the Atlanta Dream had peaked too early. And the very next day, they lost again. So that's 5 straight L's for our dear Atlanta Dream, which means Golden State just completed the 3-0 season sweep on them. So now they got me asking myself, was I asking the wrong question about Atlanta? Because I don't think this is more than or about the losing streak anymore, y'all. Because that's five down now. I think the real question that we got to ask is what's really wrong with Atlanta? Because obviously there's something going on. And tonight, y'all know we got to go beyond the lens. Shout out to y'all and figure out what's wrong with Atlanta. So, welcome back to Her Core, Her Rules. Happy Monday, y'all. Shout out to y'all. Welcome back to the realest women's basketball breakdown on the net and the only place where hoops meet higher perspective. It's your girl, your humble host, Najah Lee. And our question of tonight is, how y'all doing? Is Atlanta officially in trouble, y'all? And or is this just a test to prove who they really are? And I don't know about y'all, man. They out here looking like fools go. Should I say it? Is it too early? Again, shout out to y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like. Hit that subscribe, man. We on the road to 1,000 subs. So go ahead and join the movement and join the illest, realest, trillest active chat on YouTube, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Is Atlanta in trouble? I'm trying to tell y'all, have we been fooled? Because they not looking as shiny and as sparkly as they just did just a couple weeks ago. It was all good just a week ago. Y'all remember the bop. Shout out to Passing Through. Welcome back, family. Happy Monday. Peace and freedom to you. The family is pulling up to the reunion. So if y'all here your own time, shout out to y'all. We love punctuality over here. Gotta respect it. But if you gonna pull up late, that's cool too. We gonna save you a seat at the picnic table. Y'all know this a reunion. While y'all here, make sure y'all hit that like, hit that subscribe, and pull up to the live chat, man, because we got some things to discuss. Is Atlanta in trouble? Let me ask Passing Through, since you here, you right on time, brother. Shout out to you. And so you sat in the front of the class, so of course I gotta call you whether you raised your hand or not. Is Atlanta in trouble? Okay. I don't know, man. We got some questions. One of the biggest questions that I have for y'all right now, early. Shout out to Truth Teller. Welcome back. Peace and freedom to you. Happy Monday, y'all. Happy 4th. If y'all weren't here on Friday when I said happy 4th, it's the 6th now. So it's still good. It's still the weekend, low key tight. For real. So again, happy Independence Day to everybody out there and all that. You already know what's going on, twin. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Look. The people here, man. The people. Y'all, I'm repping my Gamecocks today, just so y'all know. In case y'all ain't know. Okay. In case y'all ain't know. Okay. Big Paige. Big PB5. Shout out to Paige. She had a great weekend, right? She had a great weekend. Okay. Helped her team to a comeback victory late last week and then dropped 22 on them in Toronto. You know, so great game, Paige, man. You know who ain't been playing well though? That's Atlanta. That's 5 straight L's on the full for Atlanta. What they doing over there? Again, are they looking like fools gold? Just so y'all know, if y'all haven't, you know, we like to check the standings often over here. Usually we do a standings breakdown, right? And look where Atlanta at now after the 5 losses, and we gonna figure out what's really going on with them. Look where they are right now, y'all. They didn't tumbled, fumbled, skipped, and tripped, bumped their head right out of the top 5. Okay, right out of the top 5. Listen, one more L now. Again, they got the little tie break on Washington right now, but they can't afford. They might not even be a top 10 team in a minute, y'all. Oh Lord, they about to. Oh, I'm getting hot. Shout out to Pharaoh. Peace and freedom to you. Happy Monday. Shout out to Farrell. Farrell, one of my stats guys. Shout out to y'all. Jeremy, welcome back. Peace and freedom to you. Happy Monday, y'all. Good afternoon, good evening. Her core, her rules. The gang is pulling up. The family is pulling up. Dreams and nightmares, right? Y'all know the Meek Mill song. Come on, I would play it, but they gonna copyright me. So they be hating low key. I wish I could play it, but just think about it in your mind. Play it on the phone on the side real quick. Dreams and nightmares. They're giving us more nightmare than dream, though. They got this ain't Halloween. Don't Freddy Krueger me. Just be nice to us, Atlanta. What's happening? Shout out to the stats. Come on. Pull up. Passing through says Atlanta has 23 more games to get right before the playoffs start. They need to trade Bree Jones for Skylar Diggins to solve their point guard problem. Then add one more true big just for depth. Why they ain't pick up Tina Charles? Why they thought they was too good for Tina Charles? Like Tina Charles didn't practically carry Connecticut last year. Couldn't they have used Tina Charles over there? Yo, somebody better call Tina and say, girl, get your butt out of retirement. Take this $1 million. You feel me? Oh, she ain't gonna get a meal because what's the veteran minimum now? I don't know. Take this 300, 400,000. Come get this. Help us out. Passing through, act like you want to be a GM today. Again, happy Monday to y'all. Welcome to the chat. Her Core, Her Rules. Our unofficial GM over here of Her Core, Her Rules is now we've ordained Passing Through Sports Talk Media. I like Trey and Bree to Skylar. Bree wouldn't like going to Chicago because what vet want to go over there? But they do need a point guard and they need her now. It's my point guard and I need her now. They need one. Jordan Canada, not gonna cut it. Love Jordan Canada though. Jordan Canada need to be in Washington. Can we talk about it? Are we putting our GM hats today? Put them on, y'all. Put them on. Everybody go grab a hat. Put it on. Put the caps in the chat if you don't want to put a real hat on. Put the caps in the chat. We playing GM today. I'm gonna start that one too because I like that one. Second fastest player. Here we go with more stats. This is about, if y'all didn't know, Truth Teller is a Dallas Wings fan. So we gotta show love to Paige every time Truth Teller pulls up. So we got Wings fans in the house, Mystics fans in the house, Atlanta Dream fans in the house, Aces fans in the house. We usually have one or two Fever fans in the house. We definitely have Chicago Sky fans in the house. So shout out to y'all. Second fastest player ever to reach 400 points and 100 assists in a season behind Diana Taurasi in 2013. Tied for most consecutive games with 25 plus points, which is 4 in Toronto. She broke it. Let's go. Paige has scored at least 20 points and shot at least 50% from the field in the last 5 straight games, tying Katie Smith. Ooh, that's a big name. In 2003 for the longest streak by a guard in WNBA history. Shout out to the stats. Paige is cooking this year. Paige is cooking. Well, she cooked last year, so it makes sense, right? It makes sense. Passing through Sports Talk Media, Jordan Canada. Yeah. I mean, so they got Jordan Canada, right? Let's talk about it. I'm glad y'all here. Again, welcome back. The Dream are not playing good. Lish is having a down season from last year. 0.01 more point guards or points per game. I'm sorry. 1 more point per game, but her shooting splits are down across the board. Yes, we could look at her shooting splits if y'all want to like really hop into the stats like that. We definitely could. So let me pull them up real quick. We looking at, Allisha Gray is not playing her best basketball this year. Definitely was last year. She had a career year last year, but not the best this year. Nor is Ryan Howard. So here we go. We gonna talk about that too. Good evening. Shout out to Joe Mama. Welcome back. Shout out to all the members in the house. Joe Mama, Truth Teller, Passing Through. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the members. Shout out to everybody getting active in the chat. Again, we putting our GM hats on today because we got to figure out if the roster in Atlanta is not going to be sufficient for the playoffs. to get out of the first round. Can we all agree with that Atlanta has to get out of the first round if their roster is not sufficient, and that's with or without Bree Jones? Then right now, over here on Her Court, Her Rules, we got to put our executive hats on and figure out who we need to pluck, who we need to bring in, who we need to sit down. Speaking of sitting down, I think one of the reasons why Passing Through mentioned Skylar Diggins is because Chicago is saying Skylar Diggins is now coming off the bench. So you got Skylar Diggins coming off the bench. Okay. Let's see how far that goes. Okay. That being said, go ahead. Skylar's already unhappy. She coming off the bench, so she's gonna be more angered. Get her on over here. I'm sorry, Bree Jones, you ain't played a minute for us this season. Respect to you. Shout out to you. You did great for us last year, but we gotta go ahead and part ways. You go to Chicago, you figure it out with them, right? Maybe get a third team involved. I don't know, but the WNBA, it's time for them to start getting sexy on these trades. Get 3 teams involved. They got 7 or 8 teams involved for the Kevin Durant trade, right? They just traded Jaylen Brown for a bag of peanuts. Okay. Oh, a bag of peanuts and Paul George. My bad. Some might say he is the bag of peanuts, right? So we gonna have to figure something out. One of them, I ain't gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it. All right. I'm gonna pause what I'm gonna say. Hold on, let me get to the comments. I don't think Skylar solves ATL's problems. Okay, let's go. I propose a 3-team trade. ATL gets Skylar Diggins, Dallas get Bree Jones, and Chicago gets Enrique. Actually, that could absolutely work. Actually, as far as first of all, I don't know about the math and the numbers and all that, but I'm just talking about the three teams and the 3 players involved. Enrique loves playing in Chicago, so that makes a lot of sense, right? Her stats instantly, I think her efficiency will improve just out the gate. Dallas needs a big, where you could bring Jessica Shepard and really have her really focus on that power forward position, and really she would never have to play out of position because you would have a starting big and you have multiple backup bigs, right? So what does that mean with Dallas? If you trade for Bree Jones potentially and move off Enrique, you probably may end up also moving off of a younger big, like maybe even a Lee Rue. That can put something else, some extra things into play as well. I wouldn't mind a Lee Rue over in Atlanta, but that's beside the point. Skylar Diggins, to True Teller's point, may or may not solve the point guard problem in Atlanta. May or may not. I think defensively, she will be better on the wing than Jordan Canada. Although Jordan Canada is not a bad defender, but I think if she gets caught in a switch, she becomes barbecue chicken, whereas Skylar Diggins is still much stronger, much more athletic, and she can still kind of hold her own there to a certain extent. I do think that her ability to score and be a deep ball threat is greater than Canada. So I think there would be some advantages as to having Skylar in Atlanta, and maybe even still keeping Jordan Canada as a backup, or maybe having to come off Jordan Canada too. I don't know. But yeah, there could be some moves there. You got to get multiple people in, multiple teams involved. First and foremost, you got to get multiple teams involved, and I think we all agree on that. Shout out to Pharaoh. The Valks been cooking. Yes, they have been cooking. They in the top 5 right now. Which is it's not wild, but it is wild. This is their second year, and they still don't really have one star. They have a collective of really good players, but they don't have one star. Okay, I guess we can say Gabby Williams, and that's just with a little. I'm putting a little because she's a international star, but hasn't really been, an American star yet. But they have been cooking. The Fever show why the Aces suck without MVP A'ja Wilson on the court. The Fever, well, wouldn't say we suck, but we definitely have some very strong liabilities without Asia. Asia covers so much ground, and we don't really have length on our team. So when you take like the longest person, the best, who also happens to be the best defender on the team, remove her off the court, and the best scorer, is like you really clipping us 3 times. We have been spoiled with Asia being super healthy for the majority of her career, right? So here we are. We gotta tough this one out as Aces fan, y'all. We just gotta stay stick with it and tough it out. ATO starting lineup. Let's go. Skylar, okay. Gray, okay. Ryan, okay. Angel, Medina, top five. That's starting five. Okay. Canada, backup. Pow Pow can play one or two. Borlaze, I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce her name. Nas Hillman and Sika Cone. I can care less about Sika Cone, to be honest. Switch Nas and Medina in starting lineups based on matchup. See, that's the thing. I think that if you trade, you still gotta get a big. You still are missing within the big category. Medina can't be your best big. That's no slight to her, but she's a rookie, and she's gonna have to check. You think in the playoffs, she's gonna have to guard AB. She's gonna have to guard Asia. She's gonna have to guard Jonquel. She's gonna have to, she's not gonna be able to hold up. Foul trouble alone gonna get her on the bench. Then what? Who you got? Now you back to square one without having somebody legitimate. You want a big that's ready and available now, which is why I propose doing some business with Dallas, going and get Lee Yaroo coming up off of Bree Jones. Right? Because I don't think Bree Jones playing this year. It is what it is. Go get Lee Yaroo. Come up off of Bree Jones. Have Lee Yaroo and Angel start together. That's 6'5", 6'3". Right? They have Medina come in for Lee Yaroo. I'm sorry, 6'7", 6'3". Now you got Medina coming in. She big, long, right? So you really don't ever lose when it comes to your big being a solid to good defender and a solid to good scorer on either side. So I definitely think Atlanta and Dallas need to get on the phone with one another. They got talent. Dallas got talent on their bench. They not really even running with for real. Right? Let's go. What would Skylar do to help ATL? Yeah, so I think that she can give you maybe a little bit more of an edge offensively because you have to respect her 3-point. Jordan Canada, not so much. She is super, super, super streaky, really in every shot on the court besides in the paint. I think they both can create for others at a high level. I do think that Skylar Diggins is a better defender as well. Now, will she help Atlanta? Does she solve the problem per se? I don't think their problem is point guard as much as it those shooting guards and small forwards that's you don't know what they doing. Shout out to Miss D. Shout out to y'all. Happy Monday. Peace and freedom to y'all. Welcome back to Her Core Her Rules. Jeff back on his mess. Yeah, letting Sloot control the team. What do Courtney got on Jeff, bro? What's happening over there? She got something on that guy over there. Cause she in the kitchen cooking. I thought, is that Courtney Ramsey? You feel me? What's happening? Shout out to Sneaky Raccoon. Yeah, bag of peanuts they got for Jaylen Brown. And did y'all hear, sidebar? Did y'all hear? Knucklehead GM over there for Boston. He had his press conference today. The GM and the president. They had the press conference and they talking out the side of their neck about why they traded. Oh, we traded him. Oh, but we thought it was a good business decision. We thought we actually got better and we were still a good team. And you traded that man for peanuts in a broke down old school Bronco with bad brakes. That's Paul George. You know the Bronco that OJ was in? That's Paul George. He's not nobody no more. We saw him get cooked in the playoffs. We saw New York cook them. We ain't here to talk about the stupid NBA. We're here to talk about the stupid WNBA. I don't know, but I love the W. No, it's a different type of love-hate relationship I have with the W. I'm just saying. Shout out to y'all. Hey, chat. What up? What up, Miss Brenda? Shout out to you. Hey, WNBA trade deadline is coming up. We got to see what teams want to shake it up and make a playoff push. We get listen. In Atlanta, it's not even my number one team, but boy, do I love Atlanta because you gotta love. Y'all remember the song "Forever I Love Atlanta" that's back in my heyday, right? When I was a legit. You gotta love Atlanta because not only the players, right? There's certain players, but we've really been, when you think about the team, we've really been watching these players for a minute now. Speaking of a couple of players on that roster, I'm gonna pull up the roster too. Let me pull up the roster too because I really got some things that's on my chest real quick, and then we're gonna come back to some stats. We gonna come back to some stats. They got 5 straight losses, right? Y'all know that. They swept by Golden State. Within those 5 losses, 3-0. Y'all know that, okay? They had a 12-4 record to start, and after those 5 losses, they are 12-9. Y'all know that. The question is are we seeing the real Atlanta, and are they officially in trouble? Now, when we look at the stats, okay, I'm gonna pull these stats up and we're gonna start really answering these questions. Again, we're gonna be on the lens today, so we will have to kind of like bounce around a little bit, but y'all smart, y'all gonna follow me. Anissa name is out there on the trading block. How would she help them? Well, she can go, she can go somewhere for sure, but I don't know if it's Atlanta. Hell, I would rather have her on Aces. Get Jewel Lloyd out of there. Get Kirsten Bell out of there. Right? Get Brianna Turner out of there. I see why Brianna Turner was rotting away on the bench in Indiana. She's a bum. Don't give WNBA. Don't give Brianna Turner no more contracts. Don't give Brianna Turner no more contracts. And I ain't even no hater. I love when to see the women getting paid, but please tell me what she's doing. At this point, Stephanie Talbot, what you do? This ain't an Aces episode, Lord knows, but y'all done got me hot. Ryan is too sensitive to deal with the competitiveness of Skylar Diggins. Ow. Now that one was below the belt, but you haven't not told a tale right there, my friend. Did not tell you it was gonna be. We said this year, right? We said at some point in this season there will be a back and forth between Skylar and Tyler. I said at some point she gonna grab that clipboard and just go off. Was keeping her quiet. Y'all saw her Instagram reel, right? And she went on live or put a video up saying like, that's crazy. Like I'm getting benched, and I've been real quiet. Like I really ain't saying nothing. I've been real quiet. I think one of the reasons why she been real quiet is because you got Courtney Sloot in that locker room. You can't say nothing around Courtney. That's just my spotty sense tell me you can't say nothing around Courtney Sloot. She is in their hand, in their pocket, right? So Skylar she's probably on the phone with her people to say, yo, make a move and make it sweet. Let's just get me up out of here. Let me move on to the next situation. You feel me? I'm not mad at it. I would like it. Skylar to the Mystics. She can start over there and they need a vet. Absolutely. Skylar to the Mystics or Jordan Canada to the Mystics will work for me, but definitely Skylar. Definitely Skylar. Skylar Diggins is the Chris Paul of the W. Not everyone could handle her competitive nature. That's absolutely right. That's a great parallel. Yeah, because both of them ain't never won nothing. Respectfully, they didn't been around a little bit, but they ain't really got to the mountaintop. For real. So yeah, that's a great comparison. Skylar to the Mystics actually could work. Sure could. Jeremy, that's a fact. Rye is too soft for Skylar's Debo bullying. Debo bullying is funny. But one thing about Skylar, she just gonna say what it is, and she has an expectation of your play. If you're a star, you better play like one. If you like that, you better show me. You can't show me once. You got to continue to show me. Otherwise, I'm not gonna believe it. Right? I'm gonna think it's fluke. And there's a certain level of energy that dogs just play with, and you can't take it personal. I'm a dog. Get from around me if you want to gnawed on. Like if you don't want to get bit or get growled at, don't be around no dog. That's what dogs do. Right? You want to be a feline, go over there and climb the little towers and whatnot. But if you gonna be around dogs, we move a certain way. So I wouldn't be mad at. I respect Skylar because I like running with somebody like that. I like running with somebody that in the fourth quarter I know who I'm turning to. And when it's clutch time, when it's like that, I know I got somebody who ain't ducking. Ryan be ducking. Yeah, she got game, but she ducking. When you get how many big shots has Skylar made over her career? Big shots, right? Ryan like to make, she want to score when it don't matter. Like, no, it matters right now. We need buckets and we don't need no excuses. You got to convert. Boy, she stresses me. I think she probably need to, I was about to say something. I ain't gonna say it because I don't want to get copywritten, or at least people in my comments talk about some Najah, that wasn't right. So I'm gonna be nice today, but I don't like when 5-game losing streak. That makes me turn not nice. I get nasty. Anyway, I don't think the Dream need to make a trade, but I think they're not playing their pieces the right way. Thank you, Chicago Cheetah. Shout out to you. I'm glad that you mentioned that. Pieces. Okay. I'm looking at, let me pull this back up. Hold on. Let's talk, since we're talking about pieces. Why Aaliyah and I been rotting on this bench? Why Lee and I been right? Why is Aaliyah and I not getting no tick? Ain't she the best shooter on this team? Who's a better shooter on this team, pure shooter, than Aaliyah and I? Not Ryan Howard. You're talking about catch and shoot wide open, or at least medium coverage. Not Allisha Gray. Well, Angel Reese is not in the conversation. We're talking guards here. Not Jordan Canada. Not Naz Hillman. Right? Not Pow Pow. Right? Why? What? There is one thing the Dream could do. They could go get some more veteran depth for that bench. This bench is too young. Hell, this starting lineup is young. Ryan is young. Allisha Gray is just a spit older than Ryan. Angel is young. Well, Canada, she's a vet. Okay. Naz is like right on the cusp of being a vet, but young. Okay. They're not really playing any depth for real. Young. So that's a great point. Their roster, I don't believe, is diverse enough. It's not mature enough. Okay. And it's being misused. If you Smesco, get your butt in the front. Carl, come to the front. Come to the front, Carl. If you're running a perimeter focused offense, right, where you want to run and gun, shoot threes. If you can't get to the basket, get them threes up, get back on defense. Well, why won't you play people who are good 3-point shooters? Aaliyah not getting no tick. I think maybe she was injured maybe the last game or so, but she been on the bench in street clothes. Don't y'all know, out of this roster, who got a championship besides Jordan Canada? Aaliyah Nye. And she contributed. Wasn't a big slice? No, but she did though. Meanwhile, Angel Reese didn't even finish the season last year. Not a comparison. This is to point to coach. You got to play people that have the experience. Just being around the success means you're more experienced than those who haven't even been in the room with success. What are we talking about, Coach Carl Smesco? And why he out of shape? I pulled up a picture of him, right? I'm just doing my Googles, right? Matter of fact, I'm going to do it over here because y'all think I'm Carl Smesco. I don't like his name either, but it is what it is. Not my business. I'm going to pull him up, college coach. Why is he out of shape? He's not ready. Oh, look, my computer then froze up on me. See, because they know I'm about to get into the mess. Here we go. Whatever. They ain't gonna stop me. I'm getting into the mess today. This is what he looked like in college. Okay. That's in college. Y'all know what he looked like on the sideline now. He looked confused. He looked like he used to have it and lost it. And I think he lost more than just his physique, right? I think he lost more than just his ability to bench press 300. I think he forgot how to have a diverse offensive attack. I think he's bugging for real because you got pieces you're not using. What did we say last episode? We need to see more minutes with Angel and Medina on the court. More minutes with them on the court shared at the same time. Not Medina coming in for Angel, right? Or vice versa. We need them on the court at the same time. They complement one another. Medina takes pressure off of Angel. Then you have two defensive anchors down there, right? They have length and they have athletic ability and they can cover each other defensively. On top of we seen Medina these last few games getting big in a post, clearing out the space, drop stepping, right? Keeping her pivot live, right? Not giving up on the play too soon. Continue to try to find that pocket where she can get that layup in. You need her to be empowered. It allow Angel to free up. But also Angel, they keep starting Angel's offense on the 3-point line. I want it for the life of me. Let me get back to these comments. Skylar will get Ryan in line as soon as she touched down to the A. Angel play good cop, Skylar the bad cop. It can absolutely work. Well, both teams got problems. Chicago got problems. Atlanta got problems. Sound like y'all need to get on the phone and trauma bond. Okay? Sound like y'all need to get on the phone and trauma bond and work that thing out collectively. But that would be hoping that Chicago is actually trying to win games. I can't say it enough. Chicago did all that finesse and signing all those names to continue to rationalize why they think that they deserve for fans to buy tickets from them. They don't deserve for fans to show up and support. Camilla, there's some people, Gabriella Hawkins, there's some people on the team that deserve fan support, but it ain't the Chicago Sky organization. So what they did was sold y'all on a bag of peanuts and last names on jerseys, right? And I was like, the basketball might look better, but they're still going to be a bad team. And right now, I wasn't wrong. They're the third worst team in the WNBA. Newsflash, that's exactly where they were last year. I think they were third worst because you had Connecticut, Dallas, and then them. Medina Okai is unguardable, absolutely. The size, the strength, the length, right? She could finish at the basket. She just got to be more patient sometimes. But I like the ball in her hand. She's smart. She's smart with it. And then she knows if she doesn't have it quickly, right? She has the count in her hand. The 3, the 2. She was great at sealing and getting that back seal. I mean, this losing streak has been showing us more about Medina Okai. Play her. At this point, start her. Just start her and Angel. Shake it up. Bring Canada off the bench. Listen, 5 straight losses. It's time to roll the dice. Courtney Ramsey, exactly. Because Vandersloot is in the kitchen. She in the kitchen there with Chicago. I don't know what she got on them. She got something on them. She pulled out them tarot cards on them. She said, I'm going to play them. I'm going to finesse them for real. Naz Hillman is the 6th woman of the year. You don't trade her. You use her off the bench to be the leader, using her voice to help lead this team. But she has done for the last few seasons. Yes, she's absolutely the 6th woman of the year. You have to keep her. She is a critical weapon. She is much needed, highly valued. If she's not on this team, guaranteed a championship team on her. Ask the Aces if they want a Naz Hillman. Absolutely. Size can stretch the defense, right? Can rebound at a high level. She's smart, right? She could swing the ball. She's a really good catch and shooter. I hate saying catch and shooter, but how else would you say it? Catch and shooter? No. They doing damage control because Boston. If you was going to get a player, is because it should have been up and coming VJ Edgecombe. Exactly. Now, yeah. The dude, Brad Stevens said, swing sidebar back to Boston real quick. Brad Stevens said it took me a lot of convincing and about trading Jaylen Brown for anybody, but trading him to Philly and considering our deal. It took me a lot of convincing, but they got me, and I was with it. I was with it, but I'm not saying that it was the best decision. So y'all sat up in that office and said, "Get that smart black boy up out of here." Is what y'all said. Get that boy out of here. Okay? He gon' start an uproar with all his intellect. So they say. Let Stephen A tell it, but that's beside the point. Brad Stevens set the Celtics back, and I love everything about it, because I hate the Celtics. So I've been wanting better for Jaylen Brown. Jason Tatum can stay right where he at. Boop, stay right there in Boston. You deserve Boston, buddy. Have at it. I think you can get the dream back up. Point guard, get the dream a backup point guard that's willing to come off the bench, but I still think Jordan is appropriate to start. I like Jordan Canada. I don't think she's their biggest issue. Again, I think if anything, if we're going to talk about some things that you can do, right, really to shake this team up, you might want to figure out who you want to go with, Ryan or Allisha. And in my mind, right now, it's a no-brainer. There are certain names for Atlanta you do not move on. Nas, right? We just talked about it. Allisha Gray, boom. Not Tahina Pow. She's with me. And then obviously Angel. Jordan Canada, I like her. I don't love her. I like her. She's cool. Whatever it is, what it is. Shout out to her. I think she got game. Whatever. I think she'll be better. She could be better on other teams. However, Ryan Howard, y'all, maybe we got to talk about it. Maybe we just got to pull the Band-Aid off. Is it time for us to start talking about maybe Ryan Howard is the problem? Because Atlanta is already in trouble. That we know. But maybe right now we need to start talking about maybe Ryan Howard may be the problem. Huh? There are too many moments in too many games where you're just, where's Waldo? Where's Ryan? Where's she at? I don't see the intensity defensively. Ain't that AB, 1A, 1B calling card? I don't see the aggressiveness offensively. Why you ain't dogging his mid-range? As smart as she is offensively, as talented as she is as getting to her spots, got handles, got size, can raise up over you, is athletic, got a pure jump shot. Why ain't you dogging this mid-range like this? No, you would rather just wait and settle for the three. Now, again, part of that is on Coach Silly Carl. Part of that is on Carl. We saw more again, diversity in her offensive attack prior to Carl, right? I love the 3-point shooting, right? She had a game already this season where she dropped 8, and I was like, damn, but she took 17 threes. That's a problem. That's a problem for you to even be bold enough to shoot 17 3. Unless you walked out of that game with a 11 to 12 makes, you need to not shoot as much, Cletus. I would rather for you to be 5 or 6 for 9 from the 3. And then get everything else, make it harder on them. Get in the paint, get in that mid-range, pump fake. You know who game I love? We talk about it. Shout out to Truth Teller. Paige don't let you make her settle for 3. She'll take the 3, sure. But there are often times where she keep getting into you, keep keep bringing you back. Then she gonna just take the little mid-range fadeaway. And 1. I got the 3 either way. Bink, hello? What y'all doing? When we look at the Dream in terms of the game, they lost one team. They lost 3 times, And so when you lose to a team that many times, they are better than you. Okay, so the Dream, that's a great point. So the Dream lost to the Valkyries. Let's get this back up. So the Dream lost to the Valkyries 3 times in a row out of 5 straight games. So we have Golden State, Seattle. Can't believe they got blew out by Seattle. Washington, another blowout. Just sad. Well, not really a blowout, but they shouldn't have lost that game. And then again, Golden State. So absolutely, at this point, Golden State is better than them. Not just because they beat them 3 times in a row. Their record is better than them as well. Their ranking, the standings, they are better than them as well. They have, respectfully, I mean, Atlanta has all-stars, and I think they have all-stars by default. But if you take Atlanta's 3 all-stars, Angel, let's get real now. We going beyond the lens. If you take Atlanta's 3 all-stars, Angel, Allisha, Ryan, and you look at Golden State, look at their 3 all-stars, right? Just best 3 players. Veronica, Kayla Thornton, Gabby Williams. Best three players. They might even have another player you can actually kind of like throw in there for real as the best 3. Let me go back to them. Hold on, because there's somebody I'm missing. Not Tip Hayes. She ain't this. Nah, Gabby, Veronica, yeah, and Thornton. That's their best 3 players. So when you line up the best 3, offensively, defensively, everything they got, everything they bringing, I'm going with Golden State's best 3 over Atlanta's best 3. Atlanta's best 3 wishy-washy. They you don't know what they gonna do. You don't know what they gonna do. You know what Angel gonna do. She gonna at least give you a double-double. She gonna at least give you 11, 12 rebounds. You do know that. You don't know if she gonna give you five fouls, 3 fouls, or foul out. You don't know if she gonna shoot 4 for 17. You feel me? You don't know. You don't know nothing. You don't know if Ryan gonna shoot y'all in the game or out the game. You don't know if Allisha Gray is attacking the basket and getting to the free throw line where she should be living at. You really don't know. And with all that uncertainty, again, you got to continue to ask yourself, is Atlanta officially in trouble? Yes, but why? Why? Anissa Morrow on Seattle would be crazy. Who would you move off? I wouldn't mind that in the starting lineup though. Anissa, so Natasha Heidemann, flau'jae, Anissa. Would you move off of Jordan Horston? Is that her name? Horston? I can care less about her. So Anissa wouldn't start though, would she? She would come off the bench because you still got Malonga, our fam, Ezzy. They got a lot of talent over there in Seattle. That's the one thing for certain. They got a lot of talent. I also think he's got a play is benchmark, and so because it's starting 5, in my opinion, probably is fatigued right now. They play the most than any other starting 5 in the league. Yeah, Carl Smesko gotta rely on his bench, and he can't be afraid to utilize it. You look at if the Aces had a deeper bench, they would definitely use it, but they have too many injuries right now, right? Kennedy kind of coming back for real, but she ain't really playing like that, playing like nothing to be talking about. Dana Evans ain't back yet, then you got Angel, Asia, so now you are even further in your depth chart when you don't have Asia Wilson. Now when you're thinking about Atlanta, the starters are absolutely tired, which hurts your 3-point attack gameplay or your style of play. Like, you can't be so reliant upon the 3, which really is the hardest shot in the game. It's more stressful on your body, on your legs specifically. You can't rely on that if all your starters are just exhausted, they beat down. On top of the schedule ain't been favorable either. So when you have all of that, what do you go to? You got to look to your bench. And if you can't trust them now in a regular season, how in the hell can you trust them in the playoffs? This team going to the playoffs will be a foul trouble team. Absolutely. They don't play discipline now, right? So the discipline is just not going to find itself in the playoffs. You become your worst enemy in the playoffs. Your weaknesses are exposed and exploited even more. So when you look at, shout out to Chicago Cheetah, when you look at their 3 games against Golden State, each game another weakness was exploited and exposed. What do you think is going to happen in the 5-game series in the playoffs? I don't understand what Carl is doing. You gotta get the rust off the bench now. Help Aaliyah. You know she a rhythm shooter. Help her get in the game, build that confidence, find her rhythm. Find her pockets. Is it going to be the left corner or the right corner? Is she going to be good on the wings too? What is it? You don't even know that yet. When Navarre plays, she gives them solid minutes. Why ain't Navarre playing? It doesn't make sense to me. You feel me? I just don't know. She doesn't play enough minutes. 3 minutes a game. Aaliyah now 1.5 minutes a game. That's goofy. All right. For the Dream, Nas for Niece. Okay. Oh. For the Aces, trade Brianna Tober for Niece. Yeah. Anissa Morrow. I would definitely trade. Well, Brianna bag of peanuts. So you know what I mean? You could just attach her to any old trade and that'll be that. I think Cheyenne Parker Tyus is going to continue to get more minutes. I told y'all we're going to get to the point where she's getting 24, 25 minutes a game. She's that impactful. She's a great scorer, and she's a really good rebounder as well. So that being said, you get a bona fide rebounder like Anissa Murrow on that team, then you got problems. Same thing with Atlanta Dream. What she doesn't do for Atlanta that Nas does is she's not the best 3-point shooter. She has moments, but Nas is way more of a reliable 3-point shooter than Anissa Murrow. But Anissa Murrow is a much better rebounder and defender. So I don't know. Welcome back, A Truck Ken Miller. Shout out to you. Happy Monday. Peace and freedom to you. Honestly, I don't want Skylar on the Lynx. Oh no, we don't want her on the Lynx. The Lynx need a backup point guard. I want Julie Van Loo. Well, she is a vet. She does have a lot of experience. She has played with stars before. She has a good defense. I don't see why that wouldn't work. I definitely don't want Skylar over there though. That I don't want. I think Skylar and Courtney Williams potentially in the locker room might be not good. Right? So I wouldn't want that. But Van Loo, that might be cute. That might be cute. Olivia Miles out tonight for the Lynx. I think they should sit her until Saturday game against the Liberty. Yeah, she ain't got to play tonight. I mean, especially when you looking at if Asia not coming back, maybe till later on in the week. When did they say Asia is coming back? I don't know, but if she's not coming back anytime this week, then Minnesota can afford. Really, Minnesota is their biggest problem is the Aces. So if they just stay neck and neck with the Aces, a half a game above or a half a game below, they always in the contention of being number one. So I think you just watch what they doing over there, make it a game time decision based on what they doing. Because now it looks like if the Aces ain't playing Asia, they gonna lose. I don't know. That's my team too, but it is what it is. Nia Coffey has been a great fit for the Lynx. Minutes will be cut when Fee is in the rotation. And that's cool because I think Nia Coffey is going to be great, a super weapon coming off the bench, as she should be. She's just excelled in her role as a starter, but she's definitely a bench player, at least on this team. And I think you're going to get efficient minutes, high productivity from her off the bench. And she's already leading that team from the 3-point line. So, I mean, what else can she do? Like it's been good. It's been good. It's looking good over there. Ryan Howard's, franchise player, the dream. She's not gonna let somebody out come in there and try to take over. She is the franchise. I mean, she might have thought she was the franchise, and they might have said that before. But it's up in the air now for me. I don't think she's done enough to keep that name and keep that wave. I don't think so. Might shed a tear when Fee comes back. Hated seeing her go out the way she did last season. Yeah, I know everybody in the world is going to be happy. Boy, do we miss her competitiveness. Boy, do we miss her grace on the court, just a dominant player all the way around. And we love seeing those type of players that just, it's never no quit, never no give up, and it's always poise and professionalism to the highest degree. So you gotta love that. Can't wait to see Fee come back. So get well soon, Fee. Hurry up. The table is set. Come on, let's go. Skylar to the Valkyries makes sense. They need more offense. They do, and she already has a connection with Gabby Williams. Um, but what would she do though? What would you do with Veronica Burton? You bring Veronica off the bench? I think Skylar need to get her butt in DC. Get your butt in DC where you can have a fresh start, where you can be the veteran of voice that people will follow. I think they got a lot of fire in that locker room. It's just misguided fire. It just, you need somebody to be able to, like fire bend that thing and just collect it and be able to empower it and funnel it and channel it. Right now, I think, sometimes they might be a little askew, but that's okay because it's a great, fun, fearless team with a lot in their future. So I love the Mystics, as y'all know. Honestly, I think Fee stays with the Lynx this past this year. She's a cornerstone piece. She wants to win a championship in Minnesota like LeBron wanted to win in Cleveland and Giannis in Milwaukee. And I think Fee can absolutely do it with the core that she has, with the coach that she has, with the rookie that she has, with the organization that is smart in finding talent and continuing to fill those voids. It would be crazy. Like that state, she owns that state. So you gotta just stay there. What we doing? They already have Burton and Chen. They are fine. Yeah, so I don't really think they need Skylar. Yeah. He looked like a high school gym teacher. He does. He looks goofy, Carl Smesco. He needs to go back to high school. He needs to actually get some versatility with it, play sheet, because he's predictable, and that's the part of the reason they're on the losing streak. Everybody know what's up. Everybody know what's up. It's crazy you say that because that's one of the questions that I have to you for y'all tonight. Has the league figured Atlanta out? Right, their offense has completely stalled. Their defensive identity is, I don't even know what at this point. It wavers from game to game, and then overall their confidence looks shaken. They look shook. They look shook ones. Y'all know Mob Deep, shook ones out there, right? They not playing with that same fire we saw them in Indiana. And shout out to the comments. A lot of y'all have been on the comments when I put posts up or when I put shorts up, and a lot of y'all have been saying, Atlanta ain't been playing like that since Indiana. And it reminds me of when South Carolina played UConn this year, and the energy was all about beat UConn because of last year. We beat UConn and then had nothing else in the tank. Never even thought that we was gonna have to face real ops in UCLA. And boy, not only did we face them, we got cooked. You feel me? That's where Atlanta looks right now. Like they put all their marbles into beating Indiana, beat them, sweep them that weekend, and ever since then it's been BTAs. Okay. Okada Angels together are unstoppable. Absolutely. What are they doing? Coach, I don't know what coach is doing. If Niece is out there, I would get her in trade Nas. That'd be crazy. I'm not mad at that, but hey, Paige gonna take you down to that mid range every single time. That's what Ryan need to be doing. And Paige played like she been playing this, been in the WNBA 8-9 years already. Game mad mature. And meanwhile, you're looking at players who've been there longer, right? The Ryans or the Allisha Grays, and they seem to play very hurried. Allisha Gray be moving 1,000,000 miles a minute. I'd be like, bro, you already got Jordan Canada moving at one speed, and now you got Allisha Gray at times, and then you got Tahina Pow coming off the bench, and everybody's Energizer bunnies. And then a person who like slow mo, right? Slow Joe. Y'all remember ISO Joe out of Atlanta Hawks, right? Joe Johnson. Ryan Howard could have a game like that if she just slowed down, take her time, and not rely on the three. Again, like Truth Teller said, Paige gonna take you down in that post every time, getting you down to that mid range every time. Gonna take advantage of the mismatch every single time. You put somebody like Jordan Canada on Paige Beckers, where Paige going? She not taking no three on Jordan Canada. She gonna say, "Oh, okay, jab step, hip, bounce you, right back down and get into her sweet spot where you can't check her." Just like the Chelsea Grays of the world, you can't check. You ain't checking that. She get that hip, get you on that hip and fade away. It's curtains. I believe Allisha or Ryan need to go for the team to be winners, to be great, to be successful. Joe Mama, shout out to you. I think they need to break up. I think they need to break up. I think this is different from the Boston situation with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. I'm sorry. I don't think you have two potential final MVPs between these two women. I think if they got to the finals, you will have one potential finals MVP between Allisha and Ryan. And I think that would be Allisha Gray. First and foremost, she's more healthy than Ryan. Hello. Ryan stay on the injury list here and there. Concussions, hamstring, knee injury last year, ankle, shoulder, something. I think they might need to bust that up. On top of, what is it doing to the team when you never know who to look for as your true de facto leader? When you're always split, it's always a split decision. It's either Ryan or Allisha, and it's game by game. No, every game you gotta know who can I run to every single game. And you don't know that. What you do know is that Angel Reese rises to the occasion as far as, y'all team, come on, let's go. She in the huddle. She getting everybody, you feel me? She trying to get the mojo going. You need that from your cordo, your guard, your cordo from the perimeter. That's where you need that from, the main ball handlers. Put them up on the block and get to work. Big guard. That's Paige. But that should be Ryan, though. She a big guard. Allisha a big guard. They not small. They not small fries. They're not small fries. Hold on. They not small fries. Ryan Howard is 6'2", 175. Get your butt in that paint. Hold on. That's Ryan Howard. Let's go. Allisha Gray. 6 feet, 167. But if you don't eat up that mid range, hold on. But look, Angel Reese is 6'4". Ryan Howard is 6'2". We got both of y'all standing on the 3-point line. That's what I said, yo. I said Bree Jones not being here makes them look a certain type of way because they really don't have a paint presence, especially with Carl Smesko at the helm. Now, do I think this team would be in a different position had they had a different coach who understood balance in offense? Not just so reliant upon the three, especially when you know your team is struggling right now. I don't know what to tell them. Let's go. As I've said with Fee and her chances leaving, a lot of teams won't be able to afford her, and a lot of teams want to keep the band together. Yeah, a lot of teams won't be able to afford her. However, you know, you have multiple people that signed 1-year deals, right? You have Kelsey Plum that signed a 1 year. You have a couple big names, big stars that signed 1-year deals, similar to Fee. And Fee, she gonna miss the first half of the season, right? But we also know she's the MVP. Right, she hasn't won it yet, but we know if Asia is not playing any one of these last 4 seasons, Fee probably taking 2 MVPs home. That being said, man, ain't no team safe and ain't no player safe. So outside of Asia remaining in the Aces uniform, right? When Brianna Stewart re-signed with New York, there was a couple faces that I was like, I don't think they leaving. They're gonna be right there. They good right there, right? They won there. They good. They're gonna stay right there. Fee, she ought to stay, But it don't mean like a city like LA wouldn't move mountains to get her there. Yeah, she should stay in Minnesota. But if I'm the Sparks, I'm at the end of the season, hey, big head, what you need? We got a number 1 pick. You know, Minnesota gonna want the pick, right? So I trade fee worth a number 1 pick. Absolutely. That's a top 3 pick coming your way because LA a bottom 4, bottom 5 team. So, you know, there's gonna be some teams that gonna want to get and put they name, you know what I'm saying, in a race. But I think Minnesota should absolutely win that race. Najah Howard being an all-star starter is well deserved. Now it's kind of crazy though, especially when Angel Reese, since we're talking about Atlanta, Angel Reese led the fan vote and is not a starter. I think you get the fan vote. Unless this is American politics where the masses vote for one person and that one person still don't win. Different though. This should be regular voting here. You really not rigged up American voting. We talking about regular voting here. So don't got the fan vote, but don't become a starter. It is what it is. I guess water under the bridge. However, to your point, Najah Howard been balling. She's having a career year, right? Not a career best, but definitely one of her best seasons. And we thought last year she played well. She said that was nothing. I was playing well just because that's who that's who I am. But hold on, let me show you something. You put me on a team that really want to win for real, and I got a great coach. Man, y'all better stop. Y'all better stop. Y'all better stop. Hey, Joe Mama, at least one should go. Maybe Ryan. Absolutely. I think Ryan got to go. NBA, I was baffled by the Jaylen Brown to the Sixers. Baffle is a great word, and baffle ain't even enough. Okay? I think the world is still shook about it. What do you mean you traded Jaylen Brown for Paul George? What year is this? We talk about it every Monday and Friday. These parallel universe. The way the sports be gaslighting us, acting like we ain't seeing a thing. Like with Atlanta, we see that they are struggling in shooting efficiency from games. You're not going to be consistent shooting 40% from the 3. I think you might want to start to lean on your bigs a little. I think that Okada's shown enough promise where you can kind of trust her a little more. I think though, right? No, Carl said no. We can't trust Okada yet. We can't trust her yet. Make it make sense. She's averaging 9 minutes a game. Don't y'all think Okada should be averaging at least 15, 18 minutes a game? What is happening here? I got bad news for that fee MVP. Paige Beckers has arrived. Here has arrived. Here's the thing, though. The West, all the MVPs on the West. All the MVPs on the West. Paige will win an MVP before Caitlyn. I'm not lying. Olivia Miles, get close. Olivia Miles will win an MVP before Caitlyn. All the MVPs are on the West. What the East got going on for MVP status? Stoic MVP years are long behind her. There's no MVP in Atlanta. There's none in Indiana. Those are the 3 best teams in the East, by the way. Next best team in the East is Washington. So again, there are no MVPs in the East from where I sit. From where I sit. People forget that the Clippers traded SGA for Paul George, which is sickening. When you think about it right now, it's sickening. And y'all see SGA cut his hair again. I said, oh boy, he mad. He mad. SGA mad. He didn't get back to the finals. He is angered. He didn't cut his hair off, cut his little braids off. He should have been cut them braids off. Respectfully. I don't know who told him that they was cute. They wasn't. They never was. SGA, you've done a lot of great things, but getting braids wasn't one of them. That wasn't the T for you. But shout out to SGA. Listen, the Atlanta Dream are blowing it right now. The Atlanta Dream are blowing it. They have dropped out of the top 5 right now. In the top 5 in the WNBA standings as of today is Minnesota 1, Aces 2, Wings 3, Valkyries 4, and New York 5. Can y'all see something very similar with the top 5? Do y'all see something kind of repetitive in this top 5? There's only one Eastern team in the top 5. This look a lot like the NBA, don't it though? I hate to really always do this parallel, but the leagues aren't that different. It's different characters, true enough. The officiating is awful, worse in the WNBA, true enough, right? The leadership in both between Kathy and Adam, I think a lot of people would rather not on both of them, right? True enough. The All-Star games on both sides are trash. This one is coming up, right? The WNBA this year All-Star game per ESPN. Obviously the Dream, they feel that their all-stars were snubbed, a slap in the face. None of them are starting, right? But player balloting for WNBA all-star game this year lagged. Nobody even wanted to vote for it. Why? Because we just saw what happened in last year's all-star game, and I said, why would I vote on something that I'm not even gonna watch? Y'all go ahead and vote for Asia. That's cool. I know she's gonna be an all-star voter. I mean, an all-star starter, because all y'all dope Asia Wilson fans gonna go out there and vote for her. And I'm an Asia Wilson fan too, but I'm not gonna waste my time because I'm not gonna watch the game. I think a lot of people, how many of y'all are actually going to tune in to the all-star game? I won't be watching it. Okay. So again, these are a lot of parallels between the NBA and the WNBA. And right now, the WNBA looking just like the NBA, with the 4 of the 5 best teams in the league are on the West. I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. If Atlanta and Indiana don't straighten up right now, this is more about the WNBA and its power hierarchy and how it's shifting, right? If Atlanta and Indiana don't tighten up right now, pull these standings back up. Hold on. Oops. Hold on. If they don't tighten up right now, there might not be the bottom 3 teams in the top 8 are all Eastern teams. Or actually, the bottom 4 teams are all Eastern teams. New York is going to be there, so I'm not worried about them. Indiana, Atlanta. If Indiana and Atlanta don't tighten up right now, they might not even be a top 8 team. That's how scary this look. That's how imperative it is for them to right the ship now. They are not many games above, outside of being on the looking glass looking in. They going window shop. They might be going window shopping. What you cannot have between Atlanta and Indiana is dropping to this 8th seed, and they're on the brink of it. Atlanta is on the brink of not being a top 8 team. Catch 2 more losses, Atlanta. You behind Toronto. What? Shout out to Steven. Love, shout out to you. Peace and freedom to you. Happy Monday. Welcome back to Her Core, Her Rules, man. Peace and freedom to y'all, man. Shout out to y'all, everybody who have not yet joined the family. Please go ahead and do that right now. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. When you subscribe, you automatically are invited to the cookout every Monday and Friday. We gonna save a seat at the picnic table for you. Pull up to the live chat just like Stephen Love did. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all engagement, man. Indiana, they gotta tighten up. Atlanta, they gotta tighten up. Now, here's the thing. Shout out to the Fever. I don't really like this team like that, but I'm not gonna hate them. I'm not gonna hate them because I'm non-biased. So we gotta talk about some good things that's happening. One good thing that happened, right? Didn't happen necessarily to my team, my Aces. Okay, ugh. Indiana beat the Aces without Caitlin Clark. And I gotta ask y'all, does Indiana be in Vegas without Caitlin Clark and Vegas missing A'ja Wilson? Does that win mean anything to y'all? If it does, why? If it doesn't, why not? Does that win mean anything to y'all? Me being an Aces fan, we ought to be scared, Cletus. What you scared of, Naj? Now we done seen it all, right? I'm an Aces fan. We done seen it all, right? We 16-0 to end the season last year. We played incredible basketball, but we ought to be scared if we can't beat Indiana. I know not having A'ja. I know it kills our depth. It kills our defensive intensity and pressure from the paint. I know. But not having A'ja, shout out to Nalissa Smith, who stepped up some, right? Stepped up great, had a great game. Shout out to Nalissa Smith. These last 2 games, she's been playing well. However, not having A'ja, them not having Caitlin though. They used to playing without Caitlin, so that's not a big enough doozy for them. They can play without Caitlin, and they do still have guard depth, whereas we don't really have the big depth to replace A'ja Wilson, 4-time MVP, because Caitlin is not 4-time MVP, so you can replace her in pieces. It's not gonna look as good, it's not gonna be as pretty, but you can get the job done, right? You can piece together 2 people to try to make up for them 20 points and them 9 assists and them six turnovers. You can piece that together. Not having A'ja, it's difficult to do that. However, what's scary though is we already got blown out 2 times this year, about 30 plus points already twice this year, and we not even halfway through the season. So we got blown out twice. We done lost some games we shouldn't have lost. We done got embarrassed, and we can't win without A'ja. Now listen, if you an Aces fan, you're mad, but you're really scared. I'm an Aces fan. So shout out to Gamecocks Nation. We out here in Dawn We Trust. But boy, I don't know what's happening. Becky says she don't coach effort. You might want to get up on the bullhorn and get the coaching effort. Because where it's at. I'm upset. Shout out to Aces fan. Welcome back. Peace and freedom to you. Welcome back to the broadcast, bro. I'm upset with Becky mismanaging Carter to the point to where I noticed that Gray and Young are ball hogs and pretending like Carter isn't on the court when Gray and Young are on the court with Kennedy Carter. You peep the science. I'm seeing the same thing. I'm seeing a fractured I'm about to say back room. Then I was about to say closet, which is crazy. I'm seeing a fractured locker room with the Aces right now. I'm not seeing a lot of trust. I'm not seeing a lot of leadership. I'm not seeing a lot of people directing and saying, no, you do this, which means I'm not seeing a lot of accountability. What I am seeing, though, is a lot of ISO ball, a lot of I got it, I've been here before, watch me do it. Oh, watch me do it. No, why y'all can't play like a team? Why y'all only play like a team at certain times? Why y'all want to wait into the middle of the 3rd quarter to be like, all right, let's play again? Like they've been playing like with Dallas, they was playing with their food. You can't be looking at teams and say they ought to fear us because we're Vegas. Don't nobody care about your logistics. Don't nobody care that you Vegas. If you don't come out to beat everybody because you salivating to win and to get back to the finals, they're gonna look at you and be like, girl, y'all old. Let's call it what it is. Y'all old. And we can run circles around y'all. And that's what Indiana know. They know that without Caitlin last year, they nearly beat us in the playoffs with Kelsey. We had A'ja. They had Kelsey. And they nearly beat us last year in the playoffs without Caitlin. If it wasn't for our stars stepping up, mainly A'ja, we get upset, y'all. We don't even make it to the finals because we're upset in the 2nd round, in the semis. So if you're an Aces fan, this is time for you to pause for the cause. And really, like, we need to do a seance. What's happening? We looking bad. I turned the game off. I said, y'all, what y'all not finna do is stress me. Okay, Ryan Howard cannot be the franchise player when Angel Reese is a megastar and the best player on the team. Period. You gotta the moment you brought Angel Reese in, at that point in my mind, you had to make a choice between Ryan and Allisha Gray. And the way Allisha Gray bubbled up just talking about Angel, she's so sweet, she's so nice. Y'all remember the first interview with Allisha Gray after they acquired Angel and she came into the locker room, right? She was like, oh, she's just so sweet. It's like once you get to know her, it's just like, she was fangirling. That wasn't the same with Ryan. At that point, you not to say that matters, but it does matter because Angel, I'm a movement by myself, but I'm a force when we together. Y'all know the Neo song? When you got Angel and Allisha on the same page, force. Angel, movement. Angel and Allisha, force. Ryan sitting on the sideline. She waiting to get in. She want to get invited to the sleepover. Dream, next 7, Storm, Fire, Sparks, Tempo, Sky, Wing, Storm. How many W's? Oh, in this stretch. Let me pull their record up. Thank you for putting that back up. So let me pull it back up on my side. Y'all know when y'all the co-host, the chat. So I flow as y'all flow. Okay. I gotta keep these 5 straight L's at the top of the screen so you know it's real. Okay. Shout out to Miss Brenda. Miss Brenda poses a question. Y'all get into the chat and let's answer this. How many W's in this stretch? In the next 7, okay? The next 7, we got Seattle, we got Portland. Okay, but they just lost to Seattle, got blew out too. Okay. Now this is at home. This is on Prime. This not on Ion. We gotta hold on, okay? Okay. This one they need. That's on the 9th. What's that? That's Thursday. I would say it right here, boy. If it was a snake, it would have chewed my face off. Thursday, they got Seattle. They got to take this game. That is a non-negotiable. But I said that about Golden State this third Golden State game, and they lost that. So I guess put a question mark on that. Portland, they should win that. LA, they probably gonna lose that just because of the energy. Just because the energy. NECA playing big, you know what I mean? I don't know. Portland. I'm sorry, Toronto. Do I have them winning? No, I have them losing. I have them losing in Toronto. So I'm out on that. Chicago. It's a home game. I have them beating Chicago at home. So, to answer your question, out of 7, I might have them winning 3. Again, this is looking worse. They're not giving me any confidence to say that will suggest that they're going to be successful and have at least a 500 bout, at least win 4 of the 7. I don't see that at all. I heard a rumor that Kennedy has a serious health issue like lupus. Has anyone heard of that or got evidence of it? Ooh. I hope not. That would be crazy. It would explain that extensive illness stint that she just had. Again, it was never disclosed. So like, what is it? I thought illness was under the cover way of saying that she got suspended and wasn't playing because of them tweets. So I'm like, well, maybe they trying to, tap her on the wrist a little bit. The Aces lost that game because the Aces were not into that game. That's exactly the point. The Aces pick and choose when they want to play with all they might. I don't understand that at all. I legit didn't recognize Aces. The whack game. It was an awful game. It was an awful game. It was just lackadaisical. You know what I mean? Maybe they had too much barbecue. I don't know. All right, my bad, y'all. My bad, y'all. My bad, y'all. I had a little sneezing spell. Had to handle that. Had to handle that. Got my sanitizer. AB was doing her JJ impression too. Listen, AB she been throwing that body around in all the good ways, right? Not the flopping ways. She's been very strong this year. And she's been stretching the defense, right? She been knocking down them threes. So shout out to AB, man. We who don't love Aaliyah Boston? 3 to 5 wins in the next 7. Hold on, let me put this back up. 3 to 5 wins in the next 7. So y'all counting this Seattle win? Y'all counting this Portland win? What about LA and Toronto? Let's take it game by game. When CPT was arguing with the refs, after she thought she was fouled and didn't get her big behind back down the court, take her out the game. I can't stand that. The play is called. Get back. You only campaign for a call when you have coverage. If it's about stopping a fast break or trying to get the ref's attention, you gotta stop the fast break. Like you can't sell your team like that. And that be showing me that people don't. A lot of players that I've been seeing, especially the ones that do all the chirping with the refs. That's why you gotta love Nafisa. Nafisa gonna talk to the refs, but she don't have long drawn conversations. She'll talk to them on the dead ball. She'll talk to them on free throw line, right? But she engaged with the game. When you don't really care, I won't say this. When the team ain't connected, you don't sacrifice your team to argue with a ref. The refs are here all game. The refs don't have no subs. This ref is gonna be with you at minute 1 to minute 40. So don't sacrifice your team. Don't sacrifice points. Don't sacrifice somebody else hustling to stop your incorrect positioning on the court or whatever. Don't allow them to try to cover for you. Meanwhile, you just over there I gotta yap, but man, nobody care. No, listen, boy, if you don't get back, it grinds my gears. Truth Teller said 4-1. Okay, let's call these games out. Games out. Naj bounce is crazy. Sparks are terrible. You don't think they can win that one? Sparks are terrible, but when you have a terrible team, but you got some really good players on that terrible team, anything can happen. I mean, if Atlanta Dream can get blown out by Seattle, they can absolutely lose a close one to LA. Blown out by Seattle? Seattle is the second worst team in the league, right? You got Connecticut and Seattle. The reason why the Fever play better without Caitlin Clark is because when Caitlin is on the court with the Fever team underperforms and sabotages the win when Clark is on the court on purpose. You think so? You think they're doing that on purpose? You think so, Aces fan? I think that they play better defense without Caitlin, and maybe the ball moves more. I also think that Kelsey is a much better scorer when Caitlin is not on the court. I don't know. I thought that we were going to see a year finally where Kelsey is being all-star offensive player and Caitlin is being that the same way. And then Kelsey is also being a better than solid defender. I think it's sporadic, her defense, but I do think offensively she can score, but sometimes it's just not efficient. I think her efficiency improves when Caitlin is not there. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it ain't. But all I'm doing is asking questions. I don't know. That's what I thought illness was an excuse to hide some political issue exactly with Kennedy Carter. We don't know. We lost her. We don't know. Shout out to JTTVP. Shout out to you, do what she said. Hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe. We on the road to 1,000 subs, so all engagement on this channel is much appreciated. I appreciate y'all, man. Also, y'all do know, if y'all haven't noticed, I have been releasing some shorts and things like that. Definitely released a couple shorts. I got a members only video out, so if y'all members, go ahead and check that out. If y'all not, consider becoming a member for as low as $1.99, man. It's a great place to be a member of. I'm trying to tell y'all. But no, that's funny, y'all. I did not bounce on y'all. I had my sneezes was going, and I had to hop off the screen real quick. But no, I ain't. But I would never leave y'all like that. No, that'd be rude of me. That'd be rude of me. I think they get LA and Toronto. Both those teams got weak defenses. Yeah, but Toronto they've had some good games, right? Especially offensively. And what we do know right now is that it seems that Atlanta, you can outscore them. You can absolutely outscore them. So when you're looking at the Toronto game, right, and you had Marina Mabry just dropped 53 of them things the other day. I don't know what Brittany Sykes is doing though. She's not really moving the needle for me over there. But she's still averaging 20 points. So there's that. 20 points, 3 rebounds, 3.5 assists. I think Brittany Sykes is at the point in her career where she's just going to average 20, except for when she was in Seattle. But when she was in the Mystics, with the Mystics, and now with Toronto, giving more flexibility in the offense, she can really score with the best of them. I think for me, she's got to get better on the glass, and she's got to continue to be a pest on defense, which she is. So yeah, that being said, I think that, let me go back. Hold on. Go back to the schedule. That being said, I think that let me call them out in my opinion. Okay, I'm thinking that they're gonna right the wrong with Seattle, so win there. Versus Portland at home, win there. Versus LA, I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and put a loss on that. I'm gonna put a loss on Toronto. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna put a win on Chicago, and I'm gonna put a question mark on Dallas. I'm gonna stop right there. I can't even get past Dallas. It's too much. It's too much. Too much uncertainty. So I got to win. I got to win. I got a loss. I got a loss. I got to win. So that's 3 out of 5. Dallas at this stage in the game, I got at Dallas. I got Dallas winning that. And I got you winning, them beating Seattle. Right? So win, loss, win, loss, win. Okay. Caitlin Clark chirps in her civilian clothes. Somebody got to tell her it's annoying. It's definitely annoying at this point. I'm over it. She be over there looking like a golf player, and she just be popping off, and that's cool. You feel me? Just chill. Dang, dog. Take this day off. Let me tell you something. When I get a day off of work, you don't hear nothing out of me. That's what she need to do. Just chirp to your team in the huddle, right? Get on the clipboard. Remember how she was last year on the clipboard? And the assistant coach was like, girl, give me that damn clipboard back. What is you doing? You don't draw no plays here. But now she has more experience in the WNBA, and I wouldn't, especially from a point guard standpoint, I would want her input on certain things, right? Okay, boom. And at this juncture in the game, this side out play at this time, let me go into what my lead point guard. Okay, what we gonna do, right? No, she's not a veteran yet, but just so she can see that you trust her and continue to build that rapport little by little. But hey, that's Indiana Fever's problem. The Dream need to make Reese the number 1 option. Let her dictate the flow of the game. She's the best player on the Dream. She's not going to make every layup in volume. She's going to score 20 plus a night. Shout out to Bob Jones. Peace and freedom to you. Happy Monday and welcome back to Her Core, Her Rules. I agree between Angel Reese and Allisha Gray. These need to be your number 1 and your number 2 options. Your number 1 option on the perimeter. Your number 1 option in the paint. Angel and Allisha. It's the back and forth in the uncertainty. It's the who do we go to in crunch time. It's all these question marks that you have that's from a lack of coaching experience, and also It's almost like he running scared a little bit. He running scared a little bit. Pull the Band-Aid off. Let's go. It's go time. Uh, two more losses, y'all. Two more losses. And they will not be a top 18. That's scary. I believe they go 7 for 7. Only if Carl Smets do the right rotations with the right minutes. So you thinking the next, so they can win Seattle? Now these are all winnable games, and that's the crazy part. Seattle is a winnable game. Portland winnable. LA winnable. Toronto winnable. Chicago winnable. Right? Dallas even winnable. However, when I did the last stretch, right, when we picked up here last time we did predictions, right, we did that we was coming in off this Toronto game. 22nd, yes, coming in off this Toronto game. So we said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We did a 10-game prediction starting with Golden State, right? And so we're looking at this. I said they're going to split one of these games. They're going to win, and then win because this is back at home, right? So out of the first 5, I had 4 wins, 1 loss. Then out of the next 5, I had all wins, but potentially 1 loss. We said at worst they can go 7-3 in this 10-game stretch. They started this 10-game stretch going 0-5. So for me to believe they can get the next 7, I wouldn't believe that. However, if I'm being fair, I could say that they can get win, because these are all games that they should win, and win. They can get the next 5 if they play the way they should play, as you stated, with the appropriate rotations and the correct aligned minutes. But will they? Will they? A lot of the losses are coaching error losses, rotations, minutes, allocations. All that is coaching decisions, right? And I don't know. Is Plum back in action? That might change my calculus. Let's see. When is their next game? Tonight? Let's look at the injury report for tonight. Well, it looks like Plum is still out. Lower leg. She'll be out to July 28th. So, which means they should definitely beat LA. So, beat Seattle, beat Portland, beat LA at Toronto. I'm saying no because it's at Toronto. I believe this Toronto game has been moved. I think this is the game that they're saying has been moved to a bigger facility that seats 22,000. I believe it's the Atlanta game. But that being said, I'm saying no just because it's Toronto and that's a hard place to win in general. And yes to Chicago, but who's to say? Who's to say? I like to see more burn for Okai. Aren't we all saying that? Like, what is Carl doing? We don't know. We don't. Oh, Carl. Becky Hammond looked angry in the loss. She looks livid in every loss, but that one especially. You could see it in her face. Cece has played her last game with the fever, definitely getting released or traded. You think so? Wow, Bob Jones pulled up with the bombs. Yo. So if Caitlyn gets traded, where does that trade go? Everybody's been saying Caitlyn in LA. Caitlyn in LA is confirmed. Well, LA did waive Tania Latson. Not that matters much. I thought they would have waived her off season. But at least it's before All-Stars, so maybe another team will pick her up. Maybe Tania Latson go to Washington. They got a bunch of youth anyway. Hell, just sign her. She's bigger than Georgia Amore. It can't hurt. I don't know. I don't know if Caitlin Clark gets traded this season, Indiana will be buffoons. However, I think Indiana needs to refocus around Kelsey and AB. I think those are the two people that they need to grow around. And I do think that it wouldn't be the worst life decision to part ways with Caitlyn, not because it's not going to work, but it, if you're going to keep Stephanie White, I don't think you could keep Caitlyn. I think you got to choose, and I think they would choose Stephanie White because good coaching is, if you think finding another Caitlyn is hard or impossible, finding a halfway decent coach in the WNBA, good luck. Good luck. So I think they'll bank on, you already got 2 stars, just roll with that and continue to build. But Becky Hammond looked crazy, and she looks crazy every time it's a loss. She always like this. Why you over there with the poo butt face, Becky? You better start coaching effort. Tempo got a bunch of turnovers as a team. Yeah, they turn over crazy over there. They play with a lot of tempo, right? They play with a lot of tempo. It makes sense. I mean, you have a point guard, but it's Kiki Rice, and shout out to Kiki Rice, but you don't really have a true point guard yet, right? Not yet. Like, I like Kiki Rice, but again, she got injured, this, that, and the third. Like, she's not playing enough minutes. She's playing 26 minutes, but it's not as significant as you would want from the assist standpoint. In 26 minutes, she's giving you 12 points and 2.6 assists. Julie Alamon is your best passer on the team, yet she's not a starter. So what are we doing? Courtney Williams can chirp at me, can chirp all day. She's funny as I love Courtney Williams. Gotta love Courtney Williams. Gotta love her. Excuse me, Miss Lee. I need to redirect right now. Peace and love. Shout out to you, Ghost of Geraldine. Shout out to you for pulling up. Peace and freedom to you and your family. Happy Monday, y'all. Welcome back to Her Core, Her Rules. If you just pulled up, make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe. And again, pull up to the live chat. And if you part of the replay gang, shout out to you. Go ahead and leave a comment right here. I appreciate y'all. Y'all know I read all chats, all comments. Nothing skims these 4 eyes I got, okay? A YouTube channel called Keep the Vision, KTV. The man talks about how Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White drama situation, and made me realize that the Fever teammates are doing Clark wrong. So let me pull him up on my end, and that way I can make sure I get back to him. So I can get a load of his content. I'm interested to see what other people are saying. What you said his name was? Keep the Vision KTV. Okay. Keep the Vision KTV. Okay. Let me go ahead and subscribe to him. Shout out to that. Oh, okay. I have seen him multiple times. I guess I just didn't know what his channel was called. So shout out to that. I'm gonna check him out and see what's going on. It looks like he got a playlist that's based on all around Caitlyn. So gonna be interesting. Yeah, I think the East is in shambles right now. When it comes to the hierarchy, I think that we might even need to start considering major changes that need to be made, whether that's a coaching philosophy, not saying coach, but a coaching philosophy, whether that is personnel. Do we need to trade Bree Jones? Do we need to get an additional point guard so Jordan Canada can come off the bench? What does Atlanta need? Who should we blame for this 5-game skid in Atlanta? Again, I don't have all the answers, but I do have a lot of questions. And I think that leading up to this All-Star break, All-Star game is July 25th. Leading up to this All-Star break, we should get closer to finding those answers and dissecting or extracting what the problem truly is. Okay. Part of me believes that in Atlanta, there is a leadership shift that needs to be made that would start by saying, Angel, you are our leader. We know that you're new here. We know that we have other veterans, veteran dreamers over here, but you are the leader because you have the archetype of the personality that we need to lead us. It's not Ryan, and it's not Allisha Gray. I think Allisha Gray is a leader by example, and Angel Reese is a leader vocally. She can lead vocally and stand on what she's telling you to do. They need to make some changes over there. What change comes first? I don't know. Put the cart before the horse. I don't know. But if I was an executive, I'd be making phone calls and shopping Ryan Gray. I really would. I'll be making phone calls and shopping Ryan Gray, not because she's not a great player, similar to the Jaylen Brown thing, right? She's a great defender. She's a great offensive player. However, there is too much uncertainty in leadership roles between Allisha and Ryan. And I think as a franchise, you just make the decision and just say, bing, Allisha is you. Bing, Angel is you. And build around that. Now, what do you get for a player like Ryan? Go get a big. Go get a big. Go get you a big. Package Ryan and Bree Jones tonight. That's me. And that could be crazy, right? It could be a hot take. But if they lose to Seattle, some heads gonna roll. Seattle for a second time, heads rolling. And don't think if Seattle beat Atlanta for the second time, flau'jae is not looking for a handshake. She's not looking to say, good game. She's gonna gloat. I would too. And maybe she won't go. But if it was me, I would gloat. Oh, you ain't want to shake my hand after this last one. You gonna want to square up with me after this one. You feel me? The Chicago Sky is dying to make Courtney Vandersloot a starter and bench Skylar Diggins. That's happening. It's already happening. Ain't that what Skylar said? She said, I'm coming off the bench now? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Yes, I'm afraid you are. I'm afraid you are. I think Vandersloot has her pros as far as her style of play. Right? She is very shifty and quick. She's a quicker decision maker with the ball. I think it's crazy. Is Sloot faster than Skylar Diggins with the ball in the half court? I don't know. Skylar might got the edge in the full court, but Sloot kind of still got a little step on her. KTV is a clown. Dude does nothing but cape for Caitlin Clark and discredits others. He talks down all the guards that are good. He's in the they don't guard Caitlin Clark like this crowd. Oh, is he like that? Truth teller, I disagree with you. It's a team game. They need to work off each other's strength. Plus, the coach needs to make better decisions in the game as well. You know, all of this, really not all of it, but a good deal of it comes down to coaching. Better coaching, better execution late game, better game plan, better offensive attack, balanced offensive attack. Still trying to figure out what their defensive identity is. Sometimes there are moments, too many moments, when the guards get beat all the way around, every guard. And what happens? You're putting more pressure on your bigs. You're putting more pressure on Nas Hillman. You're putting your bigs in compromising positions. And then, on the flip side, the bigs kind of sometimes can blow their cover. Again, you're not going to be perfect from guards or bigs, but you have to play as a group and you have to play connected. And there's these last 5 games, they're just playing scattered, ISO, individual basketball, ego basketball, not unified basketball, not one band, one sound basketball. In the East, the New York Liberty is the only team that has a real leader so far. That's it. And New York Liberty can be beat. Hello, they can be beat. Ain't no team in the WNBA that can't be beat in a series. And the Liberty is one, but they're at this point by far the best team in the East. Bob Jones, you talking about the Fever. The other team in the East don't have players to step up as real leaders. And that's the problem. That is the problem. I believe Angel Reese should step up and nominate herself as the leader of the team, or everybody vote for the team and coaching staff regarding who would it be. Exactly. I think Angel is she fits better in that role. I think any team that she's gonna play on outside of the Las Vegas Aces, she can she can lead that team. She would be the leader on that team outside of the Aces, because nobody's gonna lead like Asia. Nobody's gonna hold you accountable like Asia. Nobody's gonna hold themselves accountable like Asia. So, and I hate to put Asia in this in a category of her own, but 4 MVPs. So there's that. The Dream is a good team. Plays need to wait. The Dream, but good team play leads to wins. Okay, I got you. The Dream, but good team play leads to wins no matter who's playing. Any given Sunday, like they say in football. Exactly. Nobody, no matter who's playing. So just like we saw with the Aces, we suffer when Asia is not playing, but that is our leader. And so when our leader doesn't play, you miss that extra push, you miss that energy, you miss that jolt, that fire, that will to win. It's sitting on your bench now, and she looking good on the bench at that. Braids popping, got the glasses, chilling. Right? So you like, oh Asia cool, I'm cool. Nah, you can't afford to be cool like that. You got to level up, because now she looking at her team, and again, when she watching her team fight in the fourth quarter, that's great, but it's too late. Y'all spent the first 3 quarters playing with a Rubik's Cube. I don't know what they was doing. I said, oh, they ain't playing, so I ain't watching. I'm not about to waste my time on these buffoons. Right? They show up, they don't know to pull up. Where your game at? You left it in the locker room, go get it. Oh, you don't feel like it? Okay, I'm gonna turn channel then. Hell, I could watch 90 Day Fiance. Just saw this tweet and it's wild. News: Skylar Diggins will come off the bench in tomorrow's game for the first time since June 11th, 2016, snapping a streak of 277 consecutive starts since 2016. That's crazy. Tyler Marsh, what is he doing? So what is that? So what is okay? So what does the Dream? I mean, the Skies starting lineup look like right now? What is their starting lineup without? So you got Sloop, because again, I don't watch a lot of these Sky games. I just they just I can't. The moment Rakia went down, I went down with her. I said, I'm out. She was the onless. My grandmother would say onless. She was the onless reason why I was watching that team. Onless. I love Skylar Diggins. She wasn't enough. She's not enough. I love Gabriella Hawkins. I hate that she got drafted to that team. Not enough. Camilla, love Camilla. Not enough to make me watch Chicago Sky. Truth teller, yes, Olivia Miles, nobody guarded her or put any defensive pressure on Olivia Miles. That's why Olivia Miles went on that run. Yeah, they was not guarding her for real. They was really letting her eat for real. We saw her cook like 3 teams in a row where they were just giving her way too much space. So that ain't no lie. Shout out to Lisa. Welcome back. Peace and freedom to you. Hey, is that a Virginia Tech basketball behind you? And if so, do you find it as crazy as I that nobody's even trying with Liz Kitley? Like, why is she not on a developmental contract? Boy, yes, that is a Virginia Tech basketball behind me. I find it absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. I don't know what to say. There are many people who were drafted or should have been drafted that are not just, they're just not around the league. She was drafted 24th overall out of Virginia Tech in 2024 by the Aces. Obviously that didn't work out well, but she is the assistant head coach at Virginia Tech in external operations. So shout out to her. She is actively working in the sport. She's back at her alma mater, so that's dope. But yeah, it's just crazy that she just never was really given the opportunity. Maybe it'll spin a block. Maybe it'll come back around. I don't know, but it looks like she landed on her feet. So shout out to her. I love my Hokies. My Hokies, they Megan Duffy. I don't like her as a coach. I actually borderline can't stand her as a coach. I think they would have had a far better year this year without her being the coach. But she's 2 years in. I don't know if they're gonna keep her. I don't know. I don't know. So sad. The Sky organization is so corrupt and clueless. Corrupt and clueless. C. Corrupt and clueless. It's heartbreaking actually to watch all that talent and all the trauma, the emotional and mental anxiety and stress, and just like the feeling of being displaced, the feeling of not having not having any worth or value, the feeling of being misled and being exploited, or being like all of that. Like, I feel so sorry for those players, man. I don't feel sorry for Tyler Marsh. Stay there. Especially when there's a shortage of bigs in the WNBA. Kitley was crazy good. Crazy good. Crazy good. What are we talking about? No, there is definitely a shortage in the WNBA of bigs, skilled bigs at that. What are we doing? Sprinkles. Shout out to Sprinkles. Welcome to Her Core, Her Rules. Peace and freedom to you. Good evening, Beyond the Lens TV. I hope all is well. Love your content and the stellar analysis you offer for women's hoops. I have subscribed and look forward to what you'll produce in the future. Well, let me tell you something. I appreciate you. You feel me? All of y'all help make this show more exciting, more engaging, especially when y'all pull up to the live chat. I move on y'all energy. So as engaged as y'all are, y'all just help continue to push the needle, and y'all help also continue to create a healthy space for all basketball fans, right? So I don't care what team you support, what player you support, you know that you are welcome here and you have a home here. So shout out to you. Welcome to your tribe. This is Her Core, Her Rules, man. I agree that some games at first they weren't putting pressure on her, but they do guard her, and she's had good games since. Also, the same line of thinking of people who say Paige doesn't get guarded, and Paige definitely be getting guarded. So there were moments, especially at like the top 12, maybe 15 games this year, that people had to adjust themselves to what is Magic Miles. I think now the verdict is out. You got to play her like she been here 8 years, dog. Right? I like the back and forth between her and Paige. Do you think that that's going to be a rival, Paige and Olivia? I think that's going to be a rival for centuries, right? In basketball world, that's going to be a back and forth that we love to see, especially by them both being on the West. Hello, gotta love it. Hi, just wondering what it is that what drew you to watch KTV. For example, was it basketball analysis or maybe the Indiana Fever coverage? I've seen, so now that y'all bringing him up, I have seen his face a lot, and I only see him about Indiana. There are a couple channels that are like Caitlin Clark. I don't want to call them groupie channels because that sound a little bit disrespectful, but like that's kind of pretty much all they talk about. And I did not notice these channels prior to the emergence of Caitlin Clark. Now, to say the same, I didn't have a channel Caitlin Clark's rookie year, right? I didn't get a channel until Caitlin Clark's sophomore year. Talking about WNBA, I've always had this channel, but I never really talked about WNBA. But also, y'all can hear that I've been a fan of the W for a long time, so I'm not new here. I'm true here. A lot of these people that solely talk about Caitlin or Indiana Fever have not been around the W since its inception, like I have. Right? Shout out to Adrienne Ross. She has a channel. She has a great channel. She has a non-biased channel. She's been an Indiana Fever fan forever. She's a Caitlin fan. I like her channel. I like her discourse. But there are channels that I'll be like, oh, bro, you kind of glazing a little bit. And that's cool. That's your favorite people. That's your favorite player. That's your favorite team. Go up for them. But when we talking about the truth about it, like, ain't no even need to be like, oh, that's my fave, so they are excluded. No, you see how I talk about the Aces? They're not gonna piss down my back and call it rain. I'm trying to tell y'all I'm nervous about my Aces. 2 30-point losses, can't seem to win without Asia, not playing with effort until the fourth quarter. Nervous about them. Also, no team is safe, and I ain't seen enough from the Aces to show me that they can get right back to the finals. I haven't seen enough. They're going to have to prove it to me again. And that's with the 4-time MVP. That's letting you know that I'm very non-biased. And I love my Aces. And y'all know Gamecocks Nation forever love Asia. KTV also said that Paige getting first in the fan vote is fake and thinks the league is against radical CCC member behavior. Yeah, I don't like that. Also, Caitlin Clark has had single-digit scoring games her rookie year and set the record in assists, but she also had great moments. Did they not guard CC for those great moments? Hello. And set the record in assists, and she was definitely being guarded in. Nah, they 100% are CC groupie channels. Okay, see. I try to be like fair about it, but when all you talk about and over here, I try to not talk about her as much because I swear for a slice of cheese, everybody talk about Caitlin. It's like I get it. Y'all want the views. I get it. That's low hanging fruit. You talk about Caitlin, that episode, that live stream is gonna do numbers, but like that can't be my brand and my brand over here. It's not gonna be, because y'all know we don't. Our content is not based off what's going to trend today. What's the hottest topic today? It's about basketball. And I extract the question, the probing question that nobody wants to ask. Is Atlanta in trouble? Right? Has New York been exposed? These are the questions that I'm asking, because this is where the underlining foundation of true basketball WNBA fans are. We are inquisitive. We want to know things. We don't just watch the games and just take it with what's going on behind the scenes, right? Bring my little magnifying glass out. What's going on back there? Mind you, opponents were 2 and 13 field goals against Paige that game. Yeah, and Paige got good defense too. Good, and she's stronger this year. Paige again, being on the West, Paige make me worried. And we lost to Dallas 3 times, including the preseason, but 2 times in the regular season. Got embarrassed in both games. See, Aces got me real worried. Real worried. This right here, this WNBA standings right here with the links, the Aces, Wings are number 3. Wings are number 3. I might need to make a custom emoji for the Valkyries. Maybe I need to make a custom emoji for the Minnesota Lynx. I got a dream emoji. I got Aces emojis. We got the wings up emoji. Maybe I need to switch to. Okay, let's do it like this. We get emojis for the top 5s. I'm gonna redo my custom emojis. I'm gonna make a Minnesota Lynx emoji and a New York Liberty emoji. Golden State, they still got to work on it. They in the top 5, but they still got to work on it though for me, because these teams are showing up, and sometimes New York have bumps in the road, but the Valkyries, the Wings, the Aces, Minnesota, none of these teams have been perfect, but they have shown you that they are the best teams in the league. Not even close. Can't even debate it. Look, Ty Harris had to go off on some Caitlin Clark fans today on Twitter. She did. Let me see if I can Google that. Ty Harris goes off on Caitlin Clark fans on Twitter. Oh, wow. Hold on. Let's go. Sports Illustrated. What they say? Tahir, trust me, take on Fever locker room cohesion says it all. Hold on. Indiana Fever guard Ty Harris is active on social media on July 6th, including one X post where she spoke openly about Fever's locker room dynamic. Initially, Harris took to X to address fans apparently criticizing her on social media after a poor shooting night. She finished with 4 points, 0 for 4 from shooting field during the Fever's July 5th win against the Las Vegas Aces. Y'all be preying on people's downfall. Y'all ain't got to put down others to support y'all fave. Ooh. Hold on. Let's put that up there. Hold on. This is what she said. Y'all be preying on people's downfalls. Y'all ain't gotta put down others to support y'all fave. Y'all ever heard of the theory zero sum? Let me put this over here. Hold on. Y'all ever heard of the theory zero sum game? If y'all have not, we're gonna go beyond the lens today. A zero sum theory, formerly known as zero sum game, is a mathematical representation in game theory and economics where one participant's gain is exactly balanced by another's loss. Hence, zero sum theory or a zero sum game. And that's exactly what Ty Harris is saying. Y'all are preying on people's downfall. Y'all don't gotta put down somebody else to big up your fave. Your fave can be your fave without you putting somebody else down. It's the same thing they did with Wnba. It's the same. It's the culture that's been festering and brewing since Caitlin Clark's arrival. And trust me, over here on Beyond the Lens TV, we gonna talk about that. I've been waiting. But I've been, I don't talk about things like this emotional. So I got to make sure that I got my journalist hat on, that I'm locked in, ready to deliver information, right? Sound information, thesis, and everything in a conclusion. Like, it's not just going to be rants and raving. That's what I refuse to do as it relates to the culture and the toxicity over there in Indiana by way of Caitlin Clark and her fan base. I won't talk about it from an emotional standpoint though. But that being said, this is when you start to can take it upstairs, and now we can look at it and actually talk about it from a business or from a mathematical, from an intellectual standpoint. When people have to put players in the locker room down to big up Caitlin, or saying that if if such and such did better, then this person would do better, or vice versa. We're looking at a zero sum theory, and that should never hold space in a locker room, let alone one that already has a history of being toxic. Hello. And so now a current player on this team is saying, hey, y'all, come on, man. Y'all, hold on. Y'all crazy. It ain't just the fans that's talking like this. It's not just the fans that's bigging her up and putting other people's down. It's not just the fans. We saw altercations with Sophie and Wnba. We know for a fact it ain't just fans doing that. It's the culture is in the locker room. Nasty work. Oh, shout out to Ty Harris. May the force be with you, child. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Couldn't be me. This is what Ty said to some of those. Oh, that's what you said. Put down. Yeah, I had a bad shooting night for sure, but we got the dub to add. And what does that help our team as a whole, or whoever is your fave? We all trying to help any way we can. Exactly. Every game is going to war. You got an opponent every game, and you going to war with your troops. You and Caitlin, you the commander, you the general, this, that, and the third, right? You got the commander. If the commander is Stephanie White calling the shots, then you the captain, whatever the case. That being said, we supposed to be trying to win this thing as a collective, not as individuals, not as cliques. What I see when I look at, we're gonna do another episode on this, I promise y'all. What I see when I look at Indiana is high school. I see cliques. I don't like clicking up on the team or at work or what. This is a workplace, and y'all got your little. I know what it is. I done been around the block before. I done seen them, and that's one of the reasons why I put my ball down, because I say, hold on. For one thing, what you not gonna do is you ain't gonna play me like stupid, because y'all want to be besties. Not happening. We could thug it out. Okay, how you want it? Sprinkles. Again, shout out to everybody new here pulling up at her core, her rules. We do this every Monday and Friday at 6 p.m. We actually about to wrap the live up here soon, but I got to get to all my comments in the live chat because you know how I feel about y'all. Y'all my dogs. Y'all my dogs. Sprinkles, I'm an Aces fan. But everybody is talking about Stephanie White and Caitlin Clark. I never had a problem with Caitlin Clark, but Clark's fans can be cruel. And Clark is not happy being with the Fever. She's not. Caitlin doesn't bode well with Stephanie White. The fan base is kind of fracturing what potential they could have had. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird business going on at Gamebridge Fieldhouse. They got to tighten up. I don't think they're going to be able to tighten up this season. Again, I keep saying that I don't think Indiana will ever win a title with this locker room as it is. I think that they need to focus on Kelsey and AB. I think that's what they need to. And now that you got Raven Johnson, go ahead and focus on Raven too. Okay? I agree. I'm an Aces fan and a huge Asia Wilson fan, so I usually gravitate to the Aces center content. However, I support the WNBA as a whole. I'm ultimately a fan of women's professional hoops. Period. Shout out to Sprinkles. Period. We love women's basketball, and that's how we congregate here with the understanding that we are here in support of women's basketball. Whether it's college, whether it's the WNBA, whether it's international, whether it's AUB, whether it's unrivaled, we're here for it all. Shout out to Project B. Shout out to what's the other league that's right now they be balling in Greensboro. Deja Kelly playing for them right now. They got a lot of people who were drafted or not drafted and waived or were drafted and waived or didn't got invited to the draft party, didn't get selected. A lot of those players are now playing in this league. I can't for the life of me think of the name, but shout out to them. Women's basketball, we're here for it all, right? Can't wait till the NCAA start. Ooh wee. Aces fan, I agree, and I think that's really unfortunate considering that it's about having a good time supporting these athletes and enjoying the game. I think fans can be a lot of times. I think so. I think fans think they deserve something that they don't. Baby, you a fan? Sit down, have fun, watch this game. Watch this game and be entertained. We shouldn't have feel like we have the privilege that we own players or we own their identity, we own their value. We're fans, we're in support of them. They flourish, they allow us to be fans of them, right? We can only be fans of them if they allow, because they are engaged with social media, this, that, and the third, that draws this level of fandom. There are plenty of WNBA players that can care less about social media, that can care less about engaging with fans, that can care less about carrying the WNBA brand on their back. However, with those that do, they're vulnerable enough to allow us inside their lives and allow us inside their divine spaces. That being said, they don't owe us nothing. They don't owe us anything but playing professional competitive basketball when they are healthy enough to do so, because they're available. That's the only thing they owe us. Everything outside of that, we're team doing too much. That's all of us as fans, right? So it's a reason why I kind of carry the conversation a certain way over here, because they grown women doing their job, right? I'm doing my job. This ain't paying me as much as their job is paying them, but hell, I listen, I lace my shoes up every game night, Monday and Friday at 6 p.m. That being said, the fans got to lighten up a little bit. Like as we're asking the players to tighten up, the fans need to lighten up. Let these players play. And get out of the Twitter streets and the Instagram streets or wherever streets they be in with the toxicity. That's not adding or aiding the game. It's upshot. Thank you, Mrs. Brenda Nay. I knew somebody was gonna have it. Shout out to Upshot. The toxicity is not helping the game. So the more fans, the more fans confuse other fans by showing them that this is how we are. This is not how we are. WNBA is the fan base actually going to a WNBA games is some of the most holistic entertainment venues you could be at. It's family friendly. Everybody's invited. Everybody. Nobody is on the outside looking in. If you got a ticket, you family. You feel me? I remember being this big going to the WNBA games, Rockers games, showing up to the games 2 hours before because there's always activities and family stuff to do. And that stuff is not talked about as much as the bickering and the chatter and the death threats and all this nonsense. Like, what are we doing as a fan base? And that's collectively of all sports, right? Because we know soccer, football fans, they go crazy, right? They'll wild out and be sending all type of stuff to players, right? It's too much. It's too much, and you're affecting these players' mental and their emotional, which is also hindering the game. Y'all putting bad product out there just with y'all bad juju, fans. Hello, be nicer, and I bet you they play better. Be nice to these players. I'm not about to be on my threads or Twitter, and I don't even deal with none of that. I'm not about to be on there saying that you trash, you this, you. Now, if it's Kirsten Bell, I don't know. I ain't got no love for Kirsten Bell. Get her out the WNBA. But everybody else, I'm good with. I'm good with them. That's exactly what Caitlin Clark fans did, and they act surprised why girls aren't that welcome to Caitlin. Even then, they bond with her much better than what her toxic fans think. Um, Also, I know it's not all Caitlin Clark's fans. It's not. It's not. You have like a percentage that just they just live to keep up the chaos, and unfortunately, Caitlin Clark is on the the short end of the stick with that. And by her not being as vocal as saying like, y'all, if y'all fans of me, y'all can't be fans of that BS. I would rather you not be a fan of me if you're gonna keep up the see, but she ain't like me because I just dead it. Sell my jersey or burn it if you're gonna act like this wearing it. That ain't what I stand for. And if you doing that, then you won't stand for me. And I would rather you not sell it on eBay, give it away, take it to the Goodwill. I could care less. But you cannot be a fan of me representing that hate. Could not be, but that's me though. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, and I'm not gonna teeter up about what's right and what's wrong. I'm never gonna do that. Caitlin, she plays defense. You know what I mean? And sometimes to her own, it doesn't benefit her by playing defense. Just say what it is, and don't take 9 or 10 or 15 days to do it. Day one, you hear the chirp, come out there and say, unfortunately, you have to be the spokesperson against it. These your fans. Angel Reese wouldn't have her fans doing all that. Asia wouldn't have her page, wouldn't have her fans doing all that. So, not to say that she's making them do it or co-signing them, but her statements against it come too late and they not as loud. So be loud with it. Be just as loud as you are yelling for a call. Get on Twitter and type in all caps. I'm not having it. I'm Caitlin Clark, and I approve this message. That's what I would do. But I'm Najah Lee. Wilson got to be an Aces fan and watching the W. Oh, got you to be an Aces fan and watching the W. Before Wilson, I haven't watched the W since the retirement of Lisa Leslie. In my eyes, Lisa Leslie should be on the WNBA logo. Lisa is the GOAT. One thing about the WNBA, similar to the NBA, is that you do have multiple GOATs, but Lisa Leslie is if she not a logo, she is Mount Rushmore. I think we could agree with that. Like, Lisa Leslie is Mount Rushmore WNBA basketball. You can't even argue that. So if you and the reason why I say Mount Rushmore is because I do think that there could potentially be 2 to 3 GOATs already in the WNBA, and now you got Asia walking her way into it. It's only a 30-year-old league, right? So you got to have Cheryl Swoops up there. You got to have Lisa Leslie up there. You probably got to have Candace Parker up there. I don't know. Maybe you got to choose between Lisa and Candace, but how can you not have Candace Parker up there? Rookie of the year and finals MVP same year. Wasn't that finals MVP? You feel me? Like you kind of got to have her up there. or do you not have, if you got Lisa and you got Cheryl Swoops, maybe you not have Cheryl Swoops, but you gotta kind of have Cheryl Swoops up there, right? So if you got Lisa and you got Cheryl Swoops, then don't you gotta have Maya Moore? Because didn't she come with the third wave of the dynasty? And then maybe Candace Parker, and then maybe you kick Candace Parker off for Asia Wilson. I think that's how that would go. Lisa Leslie is a legend. I was aware of her before I even started watching women's basketball. Absolutely. Lisa Leslie was in TV. I mean, she was all over the place, right? Y'all remember seeing her on what was that? Living Single? She was all over. Oh, what's that? I think that wasn't Living Single, and that was Martin. Lisa Leslie was on Martin with Tina Thompson. Hello? I first saw Paige on social media when I was in the 7th grade. We the same age, and she was playing varsity Fry Nation. And that was the first time I realized that girls are legit evolving at basketball. The first time I realized that girls were evolving in basketball is when I got cooked in high school and by a public school. This was in tournament season, right? And so we in regionals now, so we trying to make states. And we at the fancy little arena, right? They got the little skybox, or what you call that, the Megatron, Jumbotron, or whatever. And I'm like, oh yeah, we made it. And that team trotted out there, and they had centers out there that was 6'3", 6'4", 6'3" power forward, 6'4" center. Point guard was 6 foot. I said, huh? Mama. Speaking of Martin, I felt like Martin fighting Tommy Hearns. I was like, we about to get abused. It is what it is. Our center is 5'11" at the time, I think. She had hops though, but and you could tell they came up with trainers. They came up with the right diet. We hood babies. We eating hot fries before the game. Hot fries and little Huggies before the game, right? We got Little Debbie's and honey buns and shortcakes and you could tell they eating it well, but they eating quinoa. You feel me? They having Brussels sprouts. Okay? Grilled fish. And we over here like shit. We just with the rallies, you know what I'm saying? We got the two for four chicken sandwiches. We had the hot fries for lunch. You feel me? With the little applesauce and whatnot. That's what we did, and we got smoked. I think we lost by like 40 points. It was nasty work. I said, well, I'm sure all those ladies are gonna have some great careers in college. And that being said, I'm out. I got to go. Y'all done made me look so bad. I done hang the shoes up. I went from having hoop dreams to figuring out, oh, let me dial in on my major. I having hoop dreams to, what I'm majoring in again, because hooping ain't gonna do it. It's not gonna be it. Even that me and other Paige fans didn't call the WNBA players trash before Paige got there. Exactly. And that's what a lot of Caitlin Clark fans, they say, well, before Caitlin, it was trash. Actually, it wasn't. Actually, I don't got no signed basketball from the Rockers because they were trash. That's not what it is. I didn't have season tickets for the Rockers because they were trash. Well, kind of they were. But that's not. But the WNBA, I remember going to the Rockers game and watching Teresa Witherspoon just I was like, yo, she's amazing. You feel me? We came up when the Kara Lawson was in the W, balling. You feel me? Speaking of another point guard that was, remember Tolliver? Balling. Mystics, LA, balling. How you on it? So nah, WNBA been fired for a long time. I got Maya Moore over there on the wall. Y'all see her back there. You feel me? WNBA been the best kept secret for a long time. It's just that now a lot of people are here to the party, and now they saying that before they arrived, the party wasn't partying. Yes, it was. And the DJ was lit. You wasn't here. We got the t-shirt though. We got the cup. We got the little Mardi Gras beads. We been here. Every fan base got a toxic section, even Page, Asia, Angel fan bases. Yeah, they all do. They absolutely all do. Caitlin Clark takes the cake, but they absolutely all do. It's just where we are in the media and in the social media era. It is. Caitlin Clark refuses to play Stephanie White's way, and Stephanie White refuses to play Caitlin Clark's way. Ain't that something? It's the craziest thing. We say all the time over here, they are more alike then they differ. They are so similar. It's like, damn, I see why it's not going to work. You have to figure out it's going to be Stephanie or it's going to be Caitlyn. And the odds of you gambling to get another great passer, great scorer, high turnover, you probably hit another Caitlyn before you hit another Stephanie White. Respectfully. And that's no slight to Caitlyn. We know she's generational. Not to say Stephanie White is a generational coach, but how many good coaches are there in the W? Every year, they just fired a great coach after winning the championship in New York to go with a rookie coach. They gambling. So I would rather gamble not with a coach. Not for me. Especially not when I still got Kelsey and AB. Nah. Damn that. Keep the coach. Keep them two players. Part ways with the one player and keep it moving. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But that would definitely kill the fan base in Indiana. Boy, wouldn't it? Paige speaks up, and I respect that. She does. Shout out to you. He's preach. You know, I'm from a Baptist church background now. Okay, pass the collection plate. Hit the super chat of the gift. If you feel the spirit. How come you are not a Kirsten Bale fan? What does she do for us? What really does she do for us? She looks out of shape. I guess apparently if she ain't wearing an afro, she can't make a shot. Her defense is lackluster. She's supposed to have a good jump shot, but I'm hard pressed finding it. She seems to get beat on the glass a lot. I mean, she's just so inconsistent. I'm just not a fan. And she's been on this team for so long and hasn't proved her value once on the court. Well, whoever she is and however great of a teammate she is to the aces in the locker room, shout out to her. And that's beautiful. But on the court, it's not that, though. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing the worth. Maybe it's a team thing. I don't know. But for me, I just feel like, why you not in shape, though? Why you don't wear the right bra either? She looked like Retribution running down the court. Boom, 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 boom. Get the right all this time. Go get you something custom. Don't Lizzo got bras or something she making now? Can't get no bigger than Lizzo's. Get you some. Just talk about don't ask me that no more. Aces fan, don't ever ask me about why I don't like Kirsten Bale. Because it's gonna send me on a 20-minute tangent, and I don't have time for that. We've been in the stream already for 2 hours and 22 minutes. Shout out to the 222. You Aces fan, you 2222. Yeah. Shout out to the 222. Angel numbers. That Jay and Abby page I told you about earlier in the comments calls Paige pandering Paige because of her SB speech, mind you. Oh, the KTV dude? Oh. How can you see? And that be the thing. People be reading too much into certain things, right? Her speech and things like that. Like they was mad because she went to the Met Gala and this, that, and the third. It's like, y'all just chill. You don't have to be zero sum. You don't have to put somebody like her down to big up Caitlyn. They could all exist in the same ecosystem. Caitlyn could be great and Paige can be great. It don't have to be one or the other. It's the WNBA. You have multiple greats. Haven't y'all been seeing a poll on ESPN about who's the best player for the NBA on Selecta 4? So every day of July, they're throwing up 4 people and having you select the best people out of the 4. And I guess by the end of the month, they'll have like the best player in the NBA per fan votes. So every day there is, for an example, there is Giannis, there is SGA, there is Curry, there's Ant Edwards, right? Then another one will have SGA, Wnba, LeBron, whatever. You know what I mean? So you have 4 different people. Each vote is going to get a different person because if they're There is 2 great people on every NBA team at this point. And now we're getting to the point where we're saying the same thing about the WNBA. There are 2 superstars on every WNBA team right now. Practically, even when you look at Connecticut, but like, let's get Connecticut out of there. Let's get Seattle out of there. Look at Seattle. They got some superstars there, but they ain't made it yet, but they got some. Even LA, they got superstars. Every team has at least 2, if not 1 bona fide superstar. So you got no choice but to kind of like allow all these women to be dope in their own right. Not saying, oh, only you can be dope because you my favorite team. And nah, my favorite team is the Aces. But you think I'm not gonna big up the Mystics or Atlanta or Connecticut or Seattle or hell? I was just giving Marina Mabrey all type of praise. You can do both. I can say I love Jackie Young, or I love AZ Fudd, and I love Marina Mabrey, right? And I love Paige, right? I could say that, and I love Courtney Williams. Like I could be a fan. The beautiful thing about the WNBA, because it's only 30 years long, ain't none of us been lifelong fans of a whole lot of teams, because a lot of these teams that moved on and this, that, and third. So unless you a Sparks fan, or unless you are, you can't even say Liberty, because they moved to Brooklyn. So unless you are really a Sparks fan, Minnesota fan, Houston getting their team back, like everybody teamed and just moved on and whatnot, practically moved around. So you a fan of the W, you a fan of these women, you a fan of these players, right? Or some of us are a fan of coaches. He also has a white girl, so it's giving RG3 vibes. Oh Lord, we know what that gives. RG3 definitely was confused. One of my biggest pet peeves when discussing Caitlin Clark and the W is the no one cared about this league before Caitlin. It's very dismissive of the fans and the players who invested in the league. Exactly. This fan base of the WNBA, like the legendary fan base of the WNBA, we have been holding down the W since everybody was laughing at us, including the NBA players. There was a time that NBA players didn't even show up to games, and now they it's a flex for them now. So, you know, I love to see it. I love to see it. I love to see the growth of the WNBA, and I love to see the growth of the fan base, and how we continue to gather in spaces like this, and just like we kick out the noise, we kick out the mess, and you know what I'm saying, we leave the meat and potatoes right here, like just the real, only the authentic, only the genuine, right? Only the truth, for real. Shout out to y'all for another great episode. This has been one of the longest episodes in a while. So shout out to y'all. Happy Monday again. Hope everybody had a great, blessed holiday weekend. Hope everybody continues to have a thriving week. Y'all know we gonna meet again on Friday at 6 p.m. Do this all over again. Touch back on what we missed throughout this week. Golden State, some games on right now. We have Atlanta's playing on Thursday, so we're gonna have some things to talk about. And then, of course, every Friday we do like to do our weekend predictions. So shout out to y'all. It's been a great episode. Let me get to this last comment. Sprinkle says it also doesn't help Caitlin Clark as much as those who parrot the idea and want to believe it does. You can recognize that Caitlin Clark contributed to the league without diminishing her peers and predecessors. Exactly. When she got here, she's the best thing. Nobody's ever done anything like this. Nobody can play like this. And it's like, what happened to literally DT just retired. Hello. It's been a lot. So yeah, she can be great. She's a phenomenal player. She's a great athlete. She has an incredible skill set. But it doesn't take away from all the legends that, came before her. So gotta pay homage. You feel me? Kirsten might be a personality hire, but I'm not mad at young black woman collecting the easy check. That's what I'm saying. So it's not that. I love to see the young lady get money, right? I think she's fun. She has to be just a ball of joy. She seems like good people. But when I'm going to go to war, I don't want to go to war with good people. I want to go to war with killers. For me. So we already got enough good people on this team. Jewel Lloyd looks like a good person. Good people need to hit shots too. Play defense too. Rebound the ball too. So You feel me? Shout out to y'all again. Great episode. We're gonna do this again Friday at 6 p.m. So y'all make sure y'all pull up again Friday at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. right here on Beyond the Lens TV. Y'all already know the vibes. Y'all already know how we doing and what the mission is here. Again, peace and freedom to everybody. Hope y'all have a great evening and a great week. I'll see y'all on Friday. Before y'all head out, make sure y'all leave a comment on the page. I don't care if it's just saying, "What's up, B? What's up, Naj? What's up, homie? What's up, fam?" That's what you got to do. Just do that for me one time. One time. Salute the people. Salute the live chat, the co-hosts. Salute the members. Salute all the engagement on the channel. I appreciate y'all, and y'all already know the vibes. Peace and freedom. I'll see y'all on